guys, RPM here. Hope you're all doing well and having a really great day. In this video, I understand the sentiment right now in the markets and especially in the communities, crypto mining, everywhere. It's extremely negative, pessimistic, and I am going to be going through my bullish case here in this video. It's going to be very long. There's a few questions here that I want to go through that is going to pertain to, I guess, understanding and giving perspective long term of my strategy, my crypto mining plan and strategy going forward. All right, that's one of the questions that I want to answer in this video. And I'm just gonna also talk about, some history, the state of the cryptocurrency market, the history of, previous hardware market prices and mining yields, understanding your own financial situation, how I was able to break past the normal. The bear market can create life-changing generational wealth. When do I sell my crypto? Am I bullish or bearish on crypto mining, short-term or long-term? So these questions are all pretty broad, big picture type of questions. And, I'm just going to start off. This is not financial advice or anything like that. I'm just going to give you guys real world info here that has happened in previous times, and whether or not it's going to happen in the future. My personal conviction in cryptocurrency mining specifically is extremely bullish, and as well as I guess cryptocurrency as a whole bullish. But there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I know you guys really like these long form type of videos. I've done these in the past where I just answer these certain questions, and this video is probably going to be over an hour long, so hopefully you guys enjoy. I will have timestamps for each of these down below if you're interested, but please watch the whole video to understand everything from my own perspective. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Before I begin, guys, this video is sponsored by Watom.io. Watom is a complete Bitcoin mining solutions provider and the largest distributor of Bitcoin mining equipment in the United States. Watom has got all your mining needs covered by offering everything from the latest ASIC miners to mobile mining containers and power transformers, as well as complete hosting services and full facility buildouts. Their team of over 100 mining experts has got you covered by offering exceptional customer service. They also offer installment payment plans, which makes getting into Bitcoin mining or scaling your existing mining operations that much easier. Link down below to watom.io/RPM. Okay, guys, let's go through the first question. Acknowledging the negative and pessimistic FUD reality video I did a bit ago. So this first question, I just wanted to touch on this one right here, the math and scenarios of GPU mining post Ethereum Merge. A lot of you guys in the comments said, this is a FUD post, this is a very negative post, and you guys know how I portray my GPU mining channel. You guys know I'm a very positive type of person. This video on the website BitPro, this company I have no care for. I don't care what they do. It's their business. What I was trying to portray in this video is the numbers aspect regarding GPU mining at the current state of the current network hash rates, the difficulty, the numbers, the profitability daily numbers is what I portrayed in this video. Okay, and I didn't care about anything else, but a lot of you guys were understanding and realizing, okay, this company that I was reading off of, they have a second, an agenda to buy people's hardware and I guess sell it for more. I have no care about that. My biggest thing in this video that I did was mainly pertaining to the numbers that we were wondering about, the daily profits or the daily issuance in terms of the fiat value of a lot of these coins. Okay, that's all I cared about. I could care less what BitPro does with whatever they were talking about at the very end. Yes, I wanted to just say here, I know that video was negative. Okay, I'm acknowledging that video was negative. I'm acknowledging that it was very I guess it would have a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yes, okay, no doubt about it. The reality of that video, I'm going to say, is that those numbers were true at that time, right? At the time, and especially I would say more so now, it's definitely worse. Okay, for those that cared about the daily profitability of mining, right? And as we all know, Ethereum Merge is potentially coming soon. It could be delayed. We're not sure. I will keep you guys updated about that. But I was just trying to give the numbers here, and that's something that I have personally never done on my channel, and it feels like I'm trying to apologize here to my community, but I was just trying to give a certain other side of it. It's just the reality, right? The numbers. I know a lot of people were mad about that, and that's just something that I felt I needed to do. And I know I don't normally do that, right, guys? You know, you all know my channel, I'm very bullish, I'm very positive. You know, there's another side to it that I really wanted to portray in that video regarding the numbers. And I know that was very pessimistic, and I don't mean for anyone to sell their hardware or anything like that. So that's where I'm going to go through the bullish case here, in which I think everyone, like for everyone that's fearing and like trying to liquidate their hardware right now, selling at a loss, selling their crypto at a loss, that is the worst idea right now. I'm just going to give you guys my perspectives now of, I guess, let's go through this whole thing. All right. So the second question here, the state of the cryptocurrency market and other markets. All right. So it's without a doubt, everyone should probably understand right now that everything has been going down. It's not just cryptocurrency, it's other asset classes as well. We got gold, we got a lot of stocks, literally all stocks have essentially been going down, and it's literally bringing everything else. Everything has been going down with it. We got real estate as well. And so the sentiment with all this is that, you know, recession is here. Recession, if for those who don't know what a recession is a macroeconomic term that refers to a significant decline in general economic activity in a designated region. It has been typically recognized as 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline as reflected by the GDP in conjunction with the monthly indicators such as rise in unemployment. All right, so this coincides with a lot of different companies that have been laying off their employees. We got Robinhood. I think another one was Coinbase. They're doing a hiring freeze as of June 2022. We got, I think Tesla was also one of those that they said they were laying off 10% in June 2022, just this month. And it goes along with a bunch of other companies that have been laying off people as well. We got TomTom here, 500 people laid off, 472 for Start Tech. Laceworks, look at this, all these different companies that have been essentially having layoffs, and it's not great, right? It's a definitely huge indicator. It goes along with, you know, with stocks, everything's been coming down. Tesla's been going down. We got Amazon as well, has been going down in price here, and PayPal, man, PayPal's another huge one that went from like what, $300 to $84. Wow, look at that. And so knowing this, knowing all of these numbers from all the different assets that have been coming down, is it potentially a great buying opportunity now to buy all of this when it's low? And that's something that I want to talk about in question 6 later on in this video. Okay, so you all can understand the state of the cryptocurrency market and other markets right now. Third question, let's go. The history of previous hardware market prices and mining yields. All right, so this question is just to give a broad perspective of, you know, when during the low times of, I guess, let's say Ethereum mining, that hardware prices were extremely low. And obviously for those that got into mining in the past year and a half, when mining was extremely profitable, you guys have probably noticed that GPU pricing, along with all other crypto mining hardware, such as ASICs, were extremely expensive. Right? And it makes sense because they were extremely profitable during the past year and a half. And lo and behold, right now, it's not very profitable anymore. But just to give that perspective of other, you know, when hardware is really expensive during these bull runs, for example, RX 580s, right? RX 580s back in July of 2021, we were seeing them on eBay on upwards to about $400, right? $300 to $400 for an RX 580 8GB card. At one point, back in October of 2019, during the last previous bear market for mining, RX 580 8GB cards were going for about $114 on nerdgears.com. $114. At one point, I did see RX 580s going for like $80, you know, $60 to $80 on some reseller GPU websites. So lo and behold, when things started going up and things started going up in terms of crypto prices, the mining was extremely profitable, and therefore that is why we saw the prices of GPUs notoriously in the past year and a half go up incredibly high. And so there's another example I want to show is the Antminer L3 Plus. This is back, I think these came out in 2017, and during the last bear market, even after the Litecoin halving back in 2019, is when these Antminer L3 pluses were extremely unprofitable right after the halving, and they were selling for about 25 to 50 to $70 on eBay, extremely cheap. I had chances to buy 10 of them, like a stock of 10 of them for about 500 bucks. And I was like, man, I should have done that, because in hindsight, lo and behold, we did not know, like, wow, Dogecoin and Litecoin would go up to the moon, especially Dogecoin after, you know, Elon Musk pumped it on Twitter, and everyone, lo and behold, you guys know what happened here. Litecoin and Dogecoin, merge mining Dogecoin was extremely profitable on these Antminer L3 pluses. So like recently, like back in March 16th, I wish I had an example back last year in 2021. These were going upwards to about $2,000 at one point, $2,000, because the L3 plus was so incredibly profitable for Dogecoin mining. And so, you know, it's funny to see that the opportunity here of buying hardware when it's low price, even though it's not profitable, that there could be a chance when, you know, the price jumps of certain coins that are, you know, script miners for Dogecoin, Litecoin mining, could potentially give you that ability to make more money by selling the hardware when it's extremely profitable, right? So that's I'm kind of going into another question of later down the road here, but I just wanted to give the history of, yeah, the previous hardware market prices now, right? So, you know, there's times when all this hardware, all ASICs were really cheap back in the previous bear market. And lo and behold, right, when things started going up in price, especially Ethereum and other coins, other proof of work coins, all those hardware was extremely expensive. Zcash ASICs, I didn't even touch Bitcoin ASICs, of course. The S19 Pro 110 terahash version back in May of 2020. These were selling for about 35. I remember seeing these for about 3,500 bucks back in 2020. And now they're about $6,000, $7,000. But, you know, at 2021, these were going for about 12,000, 15,000, I think, at the max, at the peak. These S19s were going for about 15 grand. Just insane, right? Just insane. So now I want to touch on the mining yields. Okay, the second part of this question of the history of the mining yields is that, you know, when you're mining during the bear market, especially when things were extremely low in hash rate, then you were able to yield a lot more of the coin, right? So there's an opportunity there. So what I wanted to showcase here, August of 2019, I had an RX 580 rig, 8GB card rig, and it was making about $1.07 a day, right? Only a dollar a day in terms of fiat. But the biggest takeaway here is the yield, the mining yield, 0.0135 Ethereum per day on that single RX 580 rig. Here we are today, that same RX 580 rig, 180 mega hash, 720 watts, 10 cent kilowatt hour. It's able to yield about 0.0023. So let me take up a calculator here. And, I think I did the calculation here. So 0.135 times 30 days, that's 0.4 Ethereum back then in 2019. Now, here we are today, that 0.0023 Ethereum times 30 equals about 0.069. Look at the difference there. Look at how much of the yield is different there. And then, so to go back with, you know, mining during the bear markets, mining during the low times, is you're getting more of the coin. And if you're mining and hodling it, right, obviously depending on your financial situation, is you're waiting for that next run up, right? You're waiting for the next, I don't know, blow off top, whatever you want to call it. And then you're able to sell and get your money back, if not more, obviously, because you've mined so much more of the coin. You've been yielding more of the coin. So that's one argument. That's actually another question I should have thought of is, you know, mining or buying the coin when it's low. But, you know, with hardware market prices and yields, you know, I think in terms of if you want to do that type of play, you could potentially make even more money by buying the hardware when it's low and selling it when it's really high, right? I mean, that goes along with buying the coin outright, but with crypto mining, you can buy the hardware, mine with it, get the yield, but also sell the hardware when it's extremely profitable. And so, you know, there's an opportunity cost there of whether or not you are going to be either buying the coin or doing the crypto mining hardware play of buying the hardware when it's really cheap, mining when it's low, And yeah, that's basically it. But you know, that's this strategy I'm going to talk about more so later on. I'm kind of double dipping in my questions here. Anyways, guys, let's go on to the next question. What is my crypto mining plan strategy going forward? Okay, this is a very, very big question. This is not financial advice, but I have a certain belief, certain conviction in this, that I believe that this is what my strategy is going to pertain to regarding, I guess, essentially how the prices of these coins are eventually going to go up again once Bitcoin eventually goes up again, right? And so there's a few things here I'm going to just touch on, guys, just with everything right now. So example, right now, a GPU 3070, at the time of recording, it is June 13th, 2022. An RTX 3070 right now makes about 66 cents. This is one of the lowest times we have ever seen it at the current state of mining. My current plan, let's just keep going here. My current plan is that I am going to continue to mine, but I will only mine when I am at least breaking even or maybe losing a little bit of dollar value. Okay. And until it goes a little bit negative, I'd say maybe 10 cents or more, like maybe 20 cents, I will then probably turn off. But at the same time, there is going to be that leveling off period. Okay. Not with just Ethereum. I'm talking about some other coins here in terms of the like network hash rates, right? So example, Ethereum Classic, I've already seen the network hash rate and difficulty of Ethereum Classic already start going down, right? And as well as what other coin, there's all the coins have been going down in terms of the hash rate and difficulty already, because there are a lot of people out there that have higher electrical costs. Okay, it's not just 10 cents, right? Average, it might be higher now, but like 25 cents. So I've been hearing about people in the UK. In the UK, they're only making like 20 cents, right? And the yields are pretty low, right? Comparative to other previous times. But you know, yeah, it's like the next coin here is minus 11 cents. Conflux Ergo. It's pretty much, we're talking about pennies here on a typical 3070 at this current state of the market, which is pretty scary. But for me personally, okay, going back to how I'm going to be mining is my electrical cost right now is around, I think 0.9. So I'm still okay to keep going. And like for me personally, like I'd rather mine the coin than buy the coin. And actually that's a good segue into my other part of my strategy is I want to be buying hardware when it's hopefully cheaper. So there's a few different types of hardware that this upcoming bear market that we're in already is, I'm hoping that more of this hardware pricing will come down. I'm expecting potentially, not financial advice, that 3070s could go down to maybe 250, 200 bucks, maybe. I'm being a little facetious, maybe too wishful thinking there, but hey, it could go down to those lows, right? 3070s could go down much cheaper. With that, right, I'm actually hoping that there's going to be other ASIC miners that are going to come down in price as well. So for instance, like Bitmain Antminer L7s, right? These used to sell for like what, over 20 grand. And if there's a chance for me to purchase one of these for, yeah, right now they're still selling for like 13, 20 grand. If I could get one of these for, I don't know, 5 grand, 6 grand, I don't know, just a lower price, right? Even for any of these ASICs out there, that, you know, there's going to be a point in time when the L7 will not be profitable anymore if the continued prices of these cryptos go down. And so we've already been seeing the prices of ASIC miners go down as well. So I will try to find deals of like Cadena miners, Dogecoin, or Litecoin, Dogecoin, merge mining ASICs, like not the L3 Plus. I would probably go for more efficient ASIC miners like L7 or, I don't know, the Gold Shell LT Lite. If we go, let's see here, script ASICs. Okay, so heck, I don't know, maybe even the mini Doges, but I have not seen the prices of these things come down either. The LT Lite, you know, maybe I'd buy 1 or 2 of these if in the bear market, if these are cheap enough. If Gold Shell would sell these for cheap, right now they're about $3,000, right? So interesting, right? Interesting. If these could come down to maybe, I don't know, less than $1,000 at one point, which it could happen, right? Like I said, like we talked about before, the L3 Pluses have come down to about $50, $60 at one point. So what's not to say that these types of ASICs could come down in price as well? right? It's all gonna be relative to what the crypto prices are and what the profitability is. And you know, if they're making negative $5 a day, then you best believe that these are probably gonna go down in price. And so that is where I want to come in and buy these hardware when it's much cheaper, because that goes along with the strategy of not just, you know, trying to sell them at higher prices, which we've seen on eBay. For me personally, is that if these coins eventually do go up into all-time high levels again, like Dogecoin, for instance, that is, I think with all these coins that I forgot to touch on the GPU mineable coins here, but with all these coins here that I talk about, is that are they actually going to go up again in the next cycle, right? My personal belief, my personal conviction in crypto mining and cryptocurrency in general is I believe in these cycles of Bitcoin and also the Bitcoin dominance as well. And, you know, all this together is that, you know, eventually we're going to go back up again. Not financial advice, but eventually we will. After the recession is over, we've been through this before. We've been through these times before. What's not to say that the price jumps of these certain coins will go up again? And that actually goes, there's a few terms here I want to use called market makers, and broker. And I'm curious to know, and this is, I have no idea, I'm just speculating here, that a lot of these coin projects, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or anything, but a lot of these coin projects, what makes them just go pump up in price out of nowhere? And there's been times during these times when Ravencoin, for instance, went up, Ethereum Classic went up. There was no specific news on why the price just went up like this, right? There's no specific news on to which, I guess the Dogecoin one was Elon Musk. But this is when Bitcoin went up to 60K. And so what market making essentially brings in is it provides liquidity and depth to the markets to profit from the difference in bid-ask spread. They also make trades of their own accounts, which is known principal trade. So, you know, this type of thing, you know, it could be somebody providing the volume and liquidity in order to have these price jumps on these certain coins. So what's not to say that it can't happen again or happen again? We're not sure, right? We're not sure in the next bull run if Bitcoin goes up to the next 100K, right? That's the speculative cycle of, you know, Bitcoin keeps going up a certain amount of percent every time. Not financial advice, but if that does happen, then we're going to probably see that these coins, Ergo, Ethereum Classic, Ravencoin, Flux, Dogecoin, God forbid, Litecoin, Cadena ASIC. Did I touch on the Cadena ASIC miners? You know, all these types of miners have been coming out in the past year and a half because they were essentially profitable, and they are still profitable now, right? You see the Cadena ASICs up here at the top of the charts. Not a lot, $15, but you know, at one point these were making what, $300, $500 a day. And what's not to say that these KD6s that you could potentially buy in the next year, if the crypto prices keep going down, that, you know, these $23,000, $25,000, $30,000 ASICs at one point could be a couple $1,000s, right? What's the potential that could happen? And so you look at the opportunity there of buying hardware when it's cheaper, and hopefully in the next run up of crypto, of Bitcoin, then, you know, Cadena, you know, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Flux, Ergo, Ethereum Classic, Ravencoin. There's so many more coins that I could show here. These are just some of the ones that I'm speculating on that could go up again. So that's basically my strategy here, is to, when things are, I think the prices of hardware is going to keep going down. If the market keeps going down, and it seems like it probably will, I'm not financial advice, I'm not sure, but then the prices of hardware should then make sense, come down further. And then that, to me, in my opinion, is the perfect buying opportunity to accumulate all the hardware I can, and just get ready for the next cycle, essentially. I'm not saying buying the hardware now is a good time. Maybe you could DCA in or something, but the same idea goes for DCAing into the coins. But in my opinion, I think the hardware will probably come down a lot more. That's just what I'm thinking out of my head right now, but that is something that you all should, you know, think about yourselves, as however long this recession is going to be. So that's basically it, guys. So just to summarize, right, my plan is to continue to mine. I will continue to make crypto mining content as a YouTuber. You all know I do this full time. I will keep you guys updated of everything. I will keep on mining only if it does make sense dollar wise, right? If I'm like losing negative 30 cents on a whole rig, maybe $1 or something, maybe I'll probably still keep mining till negative $1. But honestly, anything after that, I'll probably turn off, right? I'll probably turn off, wait for the networks to level off, and then maybe turn back on until things are like break even numbers again. But that's going to be relative to what my electrical cost is, and relative to what your guys' electrical cost is. It's really going to matter. It's definitely going to matter on that front. And then the other part of my strategy is the hardware buying. I'm going to try to buy whatever I can when it's cheap enough. And that's really set on my belief that those coins, those other proof of work coins, are going to go up in price again one day. It probably won't be this year. Maybe it could be next year, who knows? But you know, this is going to be more so like a 2-3 year play for me, because it's also coinciding with like the Bitcoin halving as well. So that there's a lot of things to consider there. So that's just the gist of my strategy there. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm going about there, and everything else I talked about previously of, you know, bear market prices, you know, they'll go up again eventually, and they can sell the hardware or mine profitably. And actually oh man, that's another thing to touch on is, you know, when with Ethereum, for instance, I don't have the chart of Ethereum here, you can see that if you bought, like, let's say Silicon A10 Pros, they were also going for about $3,000, $4,000 before the run up. And lo and behold, if you bought those and then mined with them during the bear market, you were then profiting, right? You're profiting on the Ethereum profits that you're mining, and you're able to ROI or break even extremely fast. And I have many ASIC videos showing like Silicon A10 Pros during these times, other ASIC miners. You can go to my ASIC adventures. I don't have it up here, but I was able to break even on those extremely fast within a couple months on all those ASICs that were purchased theoretically during these low times, right? So that's just to give some perspective there. And then lo and behold, mining was still really good for the next year and a half. And here we are. Things have crashed. Okay, guys. All right. So hopefully that makes some sense. Please let me know your thoughts about that. Next question. Understanding your own financial situation and how I was able to break past the normal. All right. So yeah, what I'm going to be talking about here is mainly how I was able personally, how I was able to essentially go through the past bear market. And let me tell you, it was not easy. You guys know my YouTube channel here. I started in, I think it was, 2018, 2019 here, when Bitcoin was around, I think, $4,000 or something. And it was very small, right? The community was very small. I was only profiting, like the videos that I talked about of, you know, how much I was profiting back in those times were like pennies, right? We're talking pennies. And so during these times, right, my personal belief was that crypto would eventually go up again. And lo and behold, here we go, 2021, it did. But how did I keep myself up during these times? How was I financially capable of like paying for my electrical bill out of my pocket? How was I able to buy the hardware, which was really cheap during these times? I remember buying Radeon 7s for like $300. I remember buying 1080 Ti's for $200. Vega 56s for I think 150, and like RX 580s for $80. You know, GPUs during this time was incredibly cheap. So basically, how I kept myself up, I don't have anything else to show you guys besides this chart here, is, you know, during this time is I worked a full-time job. I was able to make enough money to basically support my hobby during this time, as well as I was making a YouTube channel. But during this time, my YouTube channel, I made nothing. I made nothing during this time. It was maybe a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. But my YouTube channel was really not profitable as much during that time. I made my YouTube channel as a passion project. I was extremely confident and just bullish of crypto during this time, and mining. I was very positive in mining during these bear markets. For those that have been with me the past couple of years, probably know that already. And I seriously appreciate all of you who have stuck with me during the bear markets, because those are the hard times. But you know, during these times is also the time to create that generational wealth. And that's what I will touch on in the next question there. But just to go back, you know, how I was able to upkeep, you know, break past, you know, to create that wealth during this time is I was lucky enough to have a job that was paying me enough, which could give me the expendable income to get into crypto mining. And also, I actually had another job as well. I had another job, which I did some consulting and stuff on the side in IT. So, you know, I had other ways to generate income to support this crypto mining hobby. And it definitely wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy. And at the same time, I was making YouTube content at the same time. And trust me, I really enjoyed all this, but I was busting, man. I was working 24 hours a day, pretty much. Not 24 hours, you know, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day. But the rest of the time, I was go, 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 go. And with that as well, I was also going through having a kid as well. So that brought on a lot more work. Having a child, having a family during that time was definitely really hard while doing everything at the same time. But what really motivated me and what my goals were during these times is I just ultimately believed that crypto would go up again. And lo and behold, it did. And so I'm really glad that I got into this space. But I understand, for those listening right now, everyone's financial situation is different, right? I understand that how you are going to participate in this whole ecosystem and how you are going to potentially, whatever your mining strategy is, whatever your plan is, it's going to really depend on how much income you have that's expendable. Or, you know, don't take out any loans, don't do anything like that, right? Don't take out a mortgage to do crypto mining. You know, use income that you are okay with. That it could potentially go to zero. It could potentially go to nothing. So really, that's ultimately how I was able to break past that barrier, right? When things were really low, things were unprofitable, things were really bearish, everyone was emotionally and maybe physically down. The ultimate like belief system for me was just, I believed that the crypto would go up again. And along with that, during these bear times, the community, the people that I was talking with during these times, we had a lot of camaraderie. It was awesome, right? And that's what I believed, you know, during these times is what created my Red Panda mining community today, and as well as the other crypto mining communities that are around to this day. I'm not saying I'm not some sort of savant. I'm not some sort of high king of anything. I'm just a regular guy who believed during these times. I mined during the low times. I bought hardware during these times because I believed that crypto would eventually go up again. And so what I just want to get at, it's like, this is not financial advice or anything. I'm not sure, right? We're not 100% certain that crypto will go up again, but it's the belief. It's your conviction that you believe that this is eventually going to go up again. It's not just Bitcoin. It goes back to all the other asset classes around the world. Will PayPal, will Amazon, will Tesla go back up to, you know, its new all-time high again? Will, you know, all these companies start hiring back after the recession's over? Who knows, right? There's so many different worldly issues, you can say, that is hindering the whole markets as a whole, everything, right? All asset classes around the whole world. I can't tell you guys what to do, like what to buy or what to get into now, because your finances, as I would say, a lot of people, when I started out, I was like essentially, you know, paycheck to paycheck, but I made do as best as I could to try to create that wealth, to be financially to make that life-changing wealth. So I guess essentially I kind of answered my next question here. The bear market can create life-changing generational wealth. All right, so I went through like the hard part, right? But now the good part of it, when you're creating that wealth, trying to create that wealth during the bear market of, especially with crypto mining, as you're yielding more of the coin, you're trying to pay for your electrical bill out of your pocket, you're trying to buy hardware when it's extremely cheap, even though it's not really profitable. Lo and behold, right? So when this happened, when the prices of crypto went up, I was able to essentially sell some to recoup my costs and alleviate the pressure that it had during this time. And then this next part, this is probably not going to pertain to all of you because 99% of you don't have YouTube channels. I was able to create income as well with my YouTube channel during this time. And so that was able to upkeep me to be able to still hold the coins and be able to pay for my electrical bill out of my pocket. And so that really goes with, you know, you can create that life-changing wealth during the bear markets. And I think that goes along with other aspects, other asset classes as well. Like when things are incredibly down, right, there could be buying opportunities when things are lower. Buying opportunities have come about before, and lo and behold, right, the prices eventually went back up again, right? So I'm not saying that now could be a good time to buy. You know, prices of Tesla could keep going down. I'm not sure. The prices of Amazon could keep going down. Asset classes around the world could keep going down. Bitcoin, crypto could keep going down further. That nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows how much further it can go down. I'm not a TA person or anything like that, so I can't tell you guys when a good buying opportunity is. But, you know, DCA in, dollar cost averaging in, is a great play. That's what a lot of people do. And I mean, there are some people who can, you know, essentially time the best time to buy in and then sell at the next high, right? There's definitely tons of people who do that, but who knows, right? Nobody has a crystal ball. I can't tell you guys when to buy. I can't tell you guys when to sell. That is going to be your own prerogative, your own agenda in terms of when it makes sense for you to sell, to either recoup the cost or maybe not sell at all because you're financially capable of continuing on and you're trying to generate that generational wealth that you're hoping for in the next couple cycles, the next 5, 10, 20, 15, 30 years, that, you know, you're investing in this because you're just essentially wanting to have that safety net in the long term, right? That goes along with real estate and maybe stocks and your pension or whatever, right? The same idea applies what we're all trying to do here. Okay, so actually, and then this now goes into the next question: when do I sell my crypto? Now, again, that goes along with, depending what your goals are, what your financial situation is. I feel like I've been answering these questions as I'm double dipping here as I'm going along, but it's really, you're gonna have to decide for yourself, right? A lot of miners, I'd say, got into crypto and mining back in 2021, right? Notorious 2021 rise up of Bitcoin to 60K or whatever. Ethereum went up to like what, 4,600 or something at one point. But throughout this whole point, right, crypto mining was extremely profitable. I was able to, in my YouTube channel, the stats show like a lot of people were very interested in mining because it was profitable. People were in it for the daily profits. People were in it for the daily money, the dollar value. And so what happens there, and actually I want to tie this in with taxes as well, okay? When you sell your crypto, right, in Canada here at least, and in the USA I believe as well, is that, you know, mining income is considered a taxable event. So when you mine that crypto, when you mine the crypto first and it goes into your personal wallet, that's the first taxable event. You have to pay taxes on that first initial taxable event when it goes into your wallet. Next part is when you sell it into fiat, that's another taxable event, but that is going to be either a capital gain or a capital loss, depending on the first inclusion of the coin when you received it, and then when you go to sell it, like either the next couple months or later, and the price of the coin went down, then you're gonna garner a loss, a capital loss. But if you sold it, let's say, or if you say you mined it like earlier, like $1,500 Ethereum, and then you sold it at let's say 4,000, right? So 1,500 to 4,000, you're gonna have a capital, you're gonna have a difference there of, I think, 2,500. So 15 to 4,000, that'd be a $2,500 difference. So that's where you pay the capital gain between $2,500 there. Okay, so you pay the income taxable event at 1,500 when you first mined it. Example, when you mined it at 1,500 Ethereum at that time in, let's say, February, just as an example, and then you hold it, and then you go on to sell it at 4,000 as an example. So that would then be a capital gain between when you first mined it up until the next part. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's not financial advice. That's not accounting advice. Please go to your tax attorney, CPA, what have you, as you probably want to get that all, make sure it's all set up, set in stone. But that's what happened. That's what I had to do. And so for me personally, the money that I generated from my YouTube channel, I was able to use that to pay for the taxes, essentially, right? So the taxes up until for the next year, you do have to worry about if you're going to be hodling the coins, you got to make sure the income that you generated during this time, based on if you're a corporation or sole proprietor, there's going to be different income tax bracket levels. Not financial advice. You guys go again, talk to your CPA, a tax attorney. There's going to be a point you are going to have to pay the taxes, right, every year, and thus you can expense your expenses, your hardware, electricity, insurance, everything you run for your business, your cell phone, everything. You put it all in there, and you know, you're good to go, right? I'd say 2021 was definitely a wake up call for a lot of people for taxes. So that's definitely one thing you got to think of. So depending on when do I sell my crypto, I'm not going to tell you guys when to do that. That's something that you guys will have to make sure you plan around, tax planning. It's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate, but that's something that we all have to do, sadly, because if you're eventually going to sell your crypto into fiat, right, and then into your bank account, then the government is going to ask, hey, how come you didn't pay your taxes on the initial income, the initial mined coins that you mined, right? They're gonna wonder about that, and you do have to pay the taxes or whatever coins you mined for the next year, right? The year that you mine the coins, and the next year when you I think April is when a lot of personal taxes everyone is. That's when you have to pay your taxes for that year, right? So you're gonna have to understand all that stuff. But I did forget to touch on, I was talking about more so people running it as a business. If you're running it as a hobby miner, then you don't have that first income inclusion. If you have only like one rig, which I think, or one couple GPUs, I think that's what people consider as a hobby miner. Again, not financial advice. Please go talk to your tax attorney or CPA. Is then the coins that you mine won't have any tax inclusion, won't have any taxable event until you actually sell it into fiat. That would be considered as a capital gain when you sell it all, but you can't expense your hardware or anything as a hobby miner, right? So anyways, guys, that number 7, it's going to be, it really depends on your financial situation. Everyone has a different situation, and it can definitely be a pretty big shocker when come tax time, right? Because depending on how much you've mined, and if you're going to be running it as a business or not, right, it really is imperative for you guys to understand that. All right, guys, next question, last question. Am I bullish or bearish on crypto mining short term or long term? I guess I can like answer both of these questions in my own perspective. So crypto mining short term, I'm going to have to be essentially bearish on it, because obviously the state of the markets, I guess the math as well, crypto mining is now essentially becoming, not as profitable right now with certain GPUs, right? So if you had like, let's just say you had a bunch of, let's say RX 580, that's just a typical RX 580, only making 21 cents right now on a single RX 580. And so that's looking pretty dire, right? These RX 580s are not as efficient, but as I'd say with GPUs now, there's a lot more efficient GPUs out there. I'd say I like 3070s, I like A2000s. You're going to be able to stay competitive with these GPUs. Oh, well, look at this. Zero is now top spot in terms of profitability. That's funny. You're going to be able to stay competitive against other people out there when it comes to like the Ethereum network hash rate. And of course, the other coins out there, I can't forget, right? It's not just Ethereum, but Ethereum Classic and Ravencoin and Ergo, Firo. There's a bunch of other proof of work coins out there, but relative to what their network difficulty is, hash rate, and the price of the coin, it may not be profitable, right? It may not be profitable to mine with those coins. So as we know it right now, I am going to have to be a little bit bearish, short term, obviously, with the state of, I guess, all of the markets, right? So that's my little take on it. But long term, okay, I am extremely bullish. So what is gonna happen for me, and again, this goes back to my strategy back in question number 4, is long term, okay? In the maybe next year, maybe the next 2 years, who knows how long this bear market will last, right? Until I see a good amount of ASIC miners and even GPUs come down in price further, and to a price that I think is a good time to buy, that's when I will probably get in. Right? I think right now it's we don't want to catch a falling knife type of thing. I think prices, in my opinion, not financial advice, that, if these things come down even further, then, it may not be a good time to buy either crypto or the hardware. So we're kind of in that, we literally, I would say the past month or two, we've been, it's been going down, but it really hasn't been a long time for this bear market yet. Usually, a bear market lasts in previous history, 2 or 3 years here. So if that is up for us in the next 2-3 years, well, strap on, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a wild ride. I'm gonna have to say, my YouTube channel, it's probably, we're probably not gonna have a lot of views. I make videos every day. You guys know that, and I will continue to make videos every day. I will, no matter what, update you guys on everything and anything regarding crypto mining, and I will still be here. And I firmly believe in these essentially market cycles, along with I guess sad to say, like the recession, as you know, this is the time. These are the times to make money. The low times are the times to make money if you are financially capable of doing it, right? If you have a second job or you make a decent amount of money, you know, you have to be lucky enough and you have to work hard enough to achieve your goal, right? Your financial goals. And yeah, that's ultimately it. If you want to be able to realize those generational wealth, the generational life-changing wealth, the bear market is honestly is the time to create that wealth for you, is to start it. Because if you truly believe that these prices of whatever asset class you want to get in could potentially go up in the future, then that's going to be your play. That's honestly going to be your play. Okay, guys, I think that's it for this video. I think it's long enough. If you made it to the very end, please let me know. I'd like to know for those that made it to the very end. And so I appreciate you all for watching. Again, I am extremely bullish long term. I am here for the long haul. You all know that, okay? I never try to be negative when I can, but there are some realities here which I was trying to portray in that previous video that I did, that it's gonna suck, but it's gonna, you know, there's gonna be good times ahead, but we're gonna have to endure the hard times, and those are the times when people are gonna make the life-changing wealth. Okay, and so I'm gonna be here for that, and I know a lot of you guys will stay for the ride as well. So all right, my friends, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and peace out.